What's up, Real One crew, and welcome back to another episode of Just Keep It Real, where we're keeping it real one episode at a time. I'm your host, The Real Michaela, and thank you guys for tuning in yet another episode. Well, guys, this is a special episode. This is an exclusive episode. As you already know, we have ended season 5 already, and guys, we're going to give you one extra treat for all your love and support and tuning in and riding with us for 5 seasons strong. And also, make sure you guys tune into this video, like, share, subscribe, and also become a member of the Real One crew, where we do nothing but keep it real. Alrighty, guys, tonight we have a special guest joining us today. He is an artist making waves, bringing his own unique sound to the game. One of the best R&B artists that I personally know. He's also my good personal friend. Say your name for the people one good time.
Hello, how y'all guys doing? This is B.Alphonse.
Alrighty, guys, give it up for B.Alphonse. Welcome him to the show. But thank you, B.Alphonse, for joining us tonight. Taking time out of your busy schedule for just tuning in with us and getting the chance to share with us, who you are as an artist and for us to understand, what music is for you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
So I just want to give you this time right now to kind of, introduce yourself to the audience, who you are, what type of genre are you in, anything you want the listeners to hear.
Okay, so hey y'all, this is B.Alphonse. Like my friend said, I'm an R&B artist. I'm a gospel artist too. I started off. That's what I started off doing, singing gospel. But I'm also an R&B artist. I just started recording and actually dropping music probably like 2-3 years ago. So I'm still fresh in it, but I'm also looking forward to more opportunities and more of the journey that it has.
All right. That's good to hear. That is great to hear. I love me some good gospel music. I'm trying to tell you, my favorite artist is Marvin Sapp. Shout out to Marvin Sapp. Hopefully one day he tune in. We can have him on the show one day. We're not going to prolong the time. We're going to go ahead and get right into the conversation. So our first thing I want to talk to you about is what first inspired you to music? Was there any specific moment that made you feel like, yeah, this is something I want to do for the rest of my life?
That's if I can really think about it, I think it was after I stopped playing football in high school, and also I stopped playing sports in college too. So once I got out of college, and I didn't really I went into college to start playing sports, but it didn't really work out how I wanted it to be. So I just found out it was something else. I have another gift. And that's when I, basically just really got into tune on singing, really, honestly.
That's good. That's good. That's great that because I'm telling you, I went to school and I thought I was going to be a softball player in life. I literally stopped playing softball right after I graduated. That that was bad. And then, we all in our young ages where we don't know what we want to do, but you tried everything. I went through every possible career. First, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that, but now I'm here. I'm doing radio, I'm in podcasting. So I found what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, but that's good. You went through that and you knew you had something to go to if once that didn't work out. And I love hearing that in young, not even just young people, because I make it sound like I'm old and I'm not.
We getting there. We getting there.
No, we not. Don't put that on. Don't put that on me. We're not getting there because we're not. No, I'm telling y'all, I'm young. We not gonna put that on me. But it's just good to hear that we have a backup plan, because sometimes people just have a
Yes.
plan A, they don't have a plan B, they don't have plan C. It's
Right.
just I'm gonna go with this plan, and if plan A don't work, they do everything they can to make plan A work. But
Right.
sometimes that's just not your plan. That's not the plan God has for you. So you gotta be open to switching your plan, because either it's his plan or it's no plan. That's really how it is. But growing up, who were some of your biggest music influences?
Okay, let me try to narrow it down because I'm a huge music fan and I grew up under a lot. But if I could say, I'm gonna just give you 5 artists.
Okay.
It's a mixture genre, honestly. So it would be Leandra Johnson. Well, you said actually inspired. Well, grew up actually. My fault. Growing up, it was Marvin Sapp,
Okay.
um, Marvin Wayans. If I'm saying his name right, Marvin Winans.
Winans,
Yeah,
Winans.
Winans. I'm sorry, Marvin
You
Winans.
good?
Donnie McClurkin for sure. It would be New Edition.
That's a good one.
And my last one would definitely be, I'm going to just go and say it definitely would be Lil Wayne. That's what I grew up on.
What? Little Wayne?
Yeah, I grew up. I mean, we came from the same, we came from the same area. So
We did.
I grew up on that. And we literally came from like the same street. So when he say Holly Grove, I can feel that because that's where my granny grew up too. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's definitely what I grew up on too as well.
I can agree with Marvin Sapp. That's one of my favorite. That
Yeah.
is my favorite gospel artist. Then Leandra, I like Leandra Dawes. You mentioned that, like I like her too. With
Yes.
the song she did, "This Is My Exodus," that song right there, will bring tears to your eyes. But
Yeah, definitely.
New Edition. So who would you say is your favorite person at a New Edition?
Ooh, that would be well when they first was it would have been Johnny Kill. Yep.
No,
Because of his tone and what he I was a real fan of him.
that's good. I mean, he replaced my boy Bobby Brown, and that was my favorite. I Bobby Brown.
That's what I meant to say. I'm sorry. I said yeah.
You, but I like me some Bobby Brown because man, when he broke off, Bobby Brown really started getting off when he broke off of them. I hated he left New Edition, but man, when he broke off, and my favorite song by Bobby Brown, I know we off top, but hey, this is the end. This is where we keep it real. We
Oh
being
yeah.
real right now. It's a realness in the space. My favorite song by Bobby Brown. I have three. One is my prerogative because telling
Okay.
you.
We good
But
now.
that was my anthem. Like I'ma do what I want to do. It's
That's
my
mine too.
prerogative.
Yeah.
That's Sim right there. My second one is every little step I take.
Okay.
And then what's that third one he have? It's another song he have that he did. He did one with Whitney Houston. I would say that's my third favorite one because
Oh,
I like the song they did.
I've never knew that.
Yeah, him and Whitney did one. So like, you don't hear them do a lot of songs together, but that was that one song like I know him and her did. I was like, you know what? I like that. I like that little because it's like a family duo. That was like when they were in the prom. They was married at that time. I was like, ugh, I love that.
Right. I've
Like
never knew that. You taught me something because I've known about them being a power couple, but I've never known they made a song together.
that's like the only song you really hear because nobody really play it. And I feel like, as a person that was a Whitney, I'm also Whitney Houston. I guess while you at my three, I'll give my top three. I'll do three R&B, three gospel. So gospel, of course, Marvin Sapp, Tasha Cobbs, and Jacqueline Carr. Those are my top three. Well,
Ooh.
four. William McDowell. That's my fourth one. Then my top four. Now, top
Yeah.
three of all time in R&B, that's gonna be kind of hard. But I get the top ones that that was like me. Michael Jackson,
Okay.
Prince, and this is gonna be a stretch because I grew up on old school music. That's what I
Right.
grew up.
Right.
I didn't really start getting into like Beyonce and stuff like that until like I was like a little bit older. But growing up, I used to get into that old school. And my other one is The Time. So the other band that was against Prince. So it was the Revolution. It was The Time. So The Time is my third of R&B.
I get that because that's how I grew up off of. I grew up off of that. But then when I got older into my own music, that's when I started listening to like those artists. And also, I forgot to put Mally Music. That's the main him. He's probably the number one artist that kind of got me into of I can do this too. And his message is very pure. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of them.
Yeah. Shout out to Mally Music. You inspired my boy. You got to get your props, sir. We got to give you your props. They're good. But your sound, let's talk about your sound with your music. Your sound has a unique voice. And one thing I like about hearing artists one thing that connects me to the artists when they're making their music is the passion they have it. You can hear they're putting their all into it. With listening to your songs, you have a lot of heart. You put a lot of your everything into your music. It's not just a song to you. It's like you make your songs come to life. Like you can
Mhm.
feel the music when you listen to it. So with your sound, how would you describe your music pretty much?
Honestly, I think I would describe it more as, and I don't want to sound too cliche, but more of like a comfort zone, a non-judgmental zone, because I'm a big person on showing my emotions and actually being emotionally available. But when you go through life, you kind of figure out that everybody don't have that same type of mentality. So then when you run into people that don't, you kind of get frustrated. So the music I'm making, the music I'm doing is more of basically just okay. Just basically, I just tell myself, Braxton, just get in the studio, tell that person or tell that whoever you talking to or whoever the song is makes you think of, what would you tell them? Like basically, I just kind of describe my music in another word of being open and non-judgmental. Basically, just being real, honestly. And I mean, that's the best. That's the best way I can really describe it on the unique sound of it. But yeah, I don't want to sound fake. I don't want to sound like you know, different. I want to sound different, but I don't want to sound too different where it sounds like off the wall and sound like I'm just forcing it. I like to just keep everything authentic.
I love that. I love that. It's amazing. Like I said, just being open and real about it. And a lot of people, the reason why we over here just keep it real, we say just keep it real. We have a quote that we say in the show, be you, don't let nobody else change you. If somebody want to change you, then they not for you.
Mm,
Understanding that you bring a uniqueness. You being you is unique. Is nobody is not gonna have another quality that you have. What you
right.
bring to the table, somebody else is not gonna bring to the table. They can bring identical. They can bring a replica, but it's not authentic. It's not what you are bringing. You are bringing to the table. So it's important to be yourself and own who you are, and don't care about what nobody else say. Because if they want to change you, then something's wrong with them. They got to change you so you can be around them. It should be they changing to be around you. Not you change their personality, but if they trying to make you be somebody that you're not being just for y'all to be comfortable, that's not the person you need to be around. That's why we always tell everybody that come on the show, all our listeners, like just be yourself. It don't matter who is mad, who gonna feel some type of way. Just be who you are and let the chips fall where
Right.
they at.
Exactly. Exactly.
But I love that you bring that out in your music. You're not afraid to like be open and vulnerable. That's a lot of things that people don't want to own or have, vulnerability, which is hard, especially with everything that we got to go through in this time and age. We carry a lot. And being vulnerable, we either get ridiculed for it or we be told, straighten up. So being vulnerable is something a lot of people are not comfortable doing. We need to get back comfortable being vulnerable and being okay with expressing ourselves because you can't walk around carrying how you feel all the time.
Yeah,
You got to
that's
let that out.
yeah. I think the biggest thing I'm very proud of myself on because the vulnerability, like I tell people all the time, being vulnerable is for you, really. You being able to express yourself, that's really for you to release those toxins, those negative spirits, or whatever you have it. And like me being a male, they were like, "Well, he's too emotional and all that." Well, that's what you think, but I'm still at peace with myself because all that stuff that I'm saying, that y'all saying that I'm too emotional for, that is what's keeping me sane. Now, if I was to keep that all bottled up, and then I would be labeled as a person that don't want to be vulnerable. But that my main thing is what I tell people about being vulnerable. That's for you. You expressing yourself. That's for you. The people, what they think of you, that's just them. Because people always gonna have something to say. But you think you do the best decision for you. If you need to voice out that opinion, so you won't have that malice or that grudge in your heart or that spiritual lock, then that's what you need to do. Forget what everybody else say.
Yeah. And that's the truth right there. That's what it is right there. That's what it needs to be at all times. But we're gonna skip down to some other questions. So what is something that inspired you to get into R&B? So
Um,
what made you switch into that genre?
made me switch. So basically, what made me switch is because I grew up. I grew up in a church. Not ashamed of it. I'm not, not ashamed of it at all. I just felt like that was my go-to spot. And that still is my go-to spot. Even if I can't write for an R&B song, I'll still put on some gospel music just to release myself and kind of release, what I got going on. But what got me going into R&B was, well, I still want to talk about love because God is
Mhm.
love. So I didn't want to. That's why I kind of got into R&B, and also I knew for a fact that I can't rap for nothing. It was either be an R&B artist or be a rock artist. I chose that R&B was better for me, honestly. But like I said, it talks about love. So it's still God intended, basically.
That's good. That's actually something that actually put a whole perspective on it because a lot of people be making these R&B songs, well, these gospel songs, but they really R&B songs. But
Right. Yeah, it's a very distinctive. Like you gotta. It's not. You know.
yeah, but man, that's good though. That's amazing to hear. A great thing to have, a great quality to have. And I love that for you as an artist and how you're bringing, like I said, a lot of these R&B artists, a song is just a song to them. Like I said, back in the old school days when they had music, music was their life. You can tell by the way they cared about it, the way they put their all into it. You can
Right.
hear that. But now these days,
It's just, yeah. Nowadays, it's just about what people want to hear. Back then, that's why all those old school songs are classic because they wasn't scared about being vulnerable. But nowadays, people don't want to. People want to have a certain image. They don't want to have their own image. They want to, have a certain image. So, but I definitely try to stray away from that and save myself away from that type of environment, basically.
Yeah, that's good. That is great. So the other thing we want to talk to you about as an artist, what are some challenges that you face throughout your career and how do you overcome those challenges? Like all people, writers and artists, we experience writer's block. So when you're at that block, how do you overcome that?
So that's funny that you ask, because recently was in a writer's block. I would say probably for a year, because I had writer's block. I haven't really had right time to think really, and just really my mind was everywhere else. But how I really got rid of it, or not even say got rid of it, but how it really kept me was, like I said, gospel music. Gospel music is always going to be my comfort and also my energizer, because that's where I've always started. It was never I never would get writer's block talking about gospel. So once my mind opened up about gospel and everything, that's when I was able to kind of transition it over to, like, okay, this is what I want to talk about. And also it's just, that, and the being around family, and also having a good support system on saying, hey man, you're gonna have to write, you're gonna have to do something. Like, even if you can't write, just go in the studio and say something crazy. Or just say something. And that's what kind of helped me through the writer block. So it'd be basically gospel and the people around me, making sure I stayed, on top of my gift.
That's good. You gotta have sometimes you gotta have that support. You gotta have that like, hey man, get up in there. You doing the
Most,
most right now.
most,
So
de- most definitely.
So outside of music, what helps fuel your creativity? So with some of your songs, like how do you get the inspiration to do them?
Outside of music, basically, this is just life experiences. Honestly, life experiences. Also, looking at TV shows too. Lately, I find myself looking at certain shows, and in my head, I'm making a whole song about the show. So that's something. That's a new skill. I think I just honed up into. Basically, outside of music, just life experience. Just shows, honestly, that give me that creative spark.
That's good. I like that creative whoosh. Because sometimes when I use like this something I do because some people don't know that I can't give it all the stuff that I'm working on behind the scenes. But what I'm currently working on, how I get inspiration for that is I use like stuff that I do on a daily basis. So as a person that watch TV shows, I always figure out what can you do, and also I use this as a writer. What can you do to make the story more interesting? And I'm a
Mm-hmm.
type of like you got to have like a good storyline for me to
Right.
be like, what? I rock with this. Like I see it, like it all has to me, it has to make sense. And I get it, TV fiction, you don't have to make sense. To me, it do gotta make sense because I'm spending like an hour, 30 minutes of my time watching it. It gotta make sense. It got
Yeah.
to make sense. So my thing is when it comes down to the TV shows, and I look at TV shows and I be writing my own idea of the show in my head. Like I read the same scenario, but I write it differently. I'm like, you know what? We do this way. You could do this way. Take that and make it this. And that makes it more attention grabbing, makes people stay in tune more because then it's not just the same repetitive thing. It's different. It's always a wow factor. You always
Yeah.
when you play, you got that wild card. You always got somebody that got that wild card. It's always a wild card with it. You gotta whoop, whoop. Once you think it does settle down, here comes some more stuff getting ready to be start up. So that's what I use for my creativity. And then of course with my show, I just look at
Exactly.
stuff that people don't want to talk about or don't feel
Yeah.
comfortable talking about, and I talk about it because I wouldn't say I just like of course I approach stuff with sensitivity because you just certain things that are a sensitive subject, but
Mm-hmm.
you gotta talk about it. You cannot just not walk. I don't like walking around on eggshells.
Right.
Talk about it, be about it, and let's move on with it. So with me, if you're gonna beat around the bush, you're not gonna really get into it. No, let's get into it and let's go down the lines and let's get to the bottom of it. Let's get to the root of the problem. We're not gonna beat around the bush. We're not gonna pick at it. No, we're gonna dive into it and then we're gonna explore it and we're gonna analyze it and then we're gonna move on from it.
Exactly. That's the you summed it up. That's the correct way to say it. That's ain't nothing else need to be added to that. It's exactly what I'll be saying. Exactly.
See, I like this, and it's flowing. All the questions you answering two questions with one question. I was just like, okay. So then, if you could collaborate with one artist, alive or deceased, who would it be and why?
Well, so I'm gonna give you three.
Okay.
First one, Mally Music. Definitely want to do Magic Music, Mally Music, because the reason why is because of what I said earlier, that he kind of expired. He kind of played a part in me starting writing music. That's one. Another collab would be J. Cole, because I'm a real big fan of conscious rap, and I also grew up on him from elementary to middle school. And the last one would be definitely Jamie Foxx. And the reason why is because I grew up on his show. We got the same birthday. So it's just like when that time come, I'm manifesting that. So when that time come, I just, yeah, I've been waiting for this time. But yeah, I grew up on him, and also that watching his shows and listening to his music, I was a big fan of him. So, but yo, those are the top three for sure.
Okay, I like me some Jamie Foxx. Like you said, I grew up watching him too.
Yeah,
That man when that theme song came on, I used to be in the mirror doing the little dance. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. He was most
yeah.
definitely. That was a good show.
Most definitely was a good show. Now we got a good treat for you guys. Our guest has a new song that's coming out. He has given us the privilege to play a snippet for you guys. So you got to hear now the drop date. Stay tuned and you might find out when the date is dropped. But at this moment, we're going to play his newest song, After Hours.
Intense, rising, trying to figure out where your mind is. You've been on mine, I'm not hiding my feelings for you. We've been connecting just at the wrong time. Scared of messing up, girl, we'll be fine together. I got you got me. Yeah, we can fight.
All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We can't play it all today. We can't play it all, but you guys can hear. Y'all can wait till he drop it, and y'all can hear the full song.
Yeah.
We gonna play the song. We finna get into the backstory behind this song. Now, because y'all, I'm the host. I've had the privilege of hearing the song in its entirety. Now, listen, I like the song. I'm gonna let y'all know this. I like the song, y'all. The song made me put it on replay. I was just driving, putting it on replay. Y'all, I'm telling y'all this. I'm being real right now. Y'all, I was in the gym, and I kid you not, I was working out with my friend in the middle of her telling me something about the next workout we was getting ready to do. I said, "Girl, I gotta replay this song again." She said, "Yeah." And mind y'all, I played it all the way to the gym. I'm so serious. She can tell you this now. And then I was talking to her about it while we was warming up. I said, "Girl, don't that song just go hard?" I said, "Girl, listen to the beat. You hear the cadence in the beat?"
That's
She's
love. That's love.
like
That's
she was like
love.
looking at me like Kyla, I don't like. She's like, it's a good. I said, "See, no, you don't understand, but I do. It's okay though." So literally, y'all, I'm telling y'all, wait till the song drop. Y'all are going to play. It's gonna be on replay. It's just the love month, so you can still be replaying it. You can dedicate the song to somebody. You just never know. But we're not gonna put on. Let's go ahead and jump into when you first inspired you to write the song.
That's funny that you asked me. I'm also gonna kind of give you a little spoiler alert. Initially, that song was supposed to drop today.
Oh,
Because that song was a Valentine's Day song to a person that I was talking to, and that's what really inspired me to write the song. Basically, the concept, well, basically, you can just know that you have to listen to the whole song, but the concept of the song was just basically saying like it's time, like and basically I just reason why I wanted to drop it on this day, but I mean, can't rush God's process, but because it was a perfect scenery for it. Basically the song was just basically saying like, trust me, we can go far, and you trust me, I trust you. So I mean, but yeah, that's what kind of got me there. Talking to the person I was just talking to kind of had me feeling like that. So that's what I just honed up on that and took advantage of that feeling and just wrote that song.
you literally just add is the second question.
I did.
Wait, it's fine because, like I said, I like when it flows. Like you can tell when it's just like I said, it's just a conversation we're having. Like I just actually inspired the track and everything. You just literally just went into the second question was lyrics, and after it paints like a bit like late night vibe. Like you talking to the person, you telling them how you feel for the first time. Like it paints that picture. So for me, when I was listening to it, I can like envision like a guy on the phone with a girl, or like they're out having dinner. But it's that moment when the guy comes to the girl And it's just like, it's time for me to tell you how I feel. I've been holding this in for a while, but I want to let you
Right.
know now is the time, as you say in your song. So you literally just answer the story behind the lyrics, and you literally answered that someone that you're talking to inspired you to write it. So you literally just answered the second question. That is perfectly fine. That went into the third questions. Look at us covering everything while we're over here talking. So the next one we will talk about is, was there any, besides your real life experiences, were there any other musical influences that helped play a part in you creating the song?
If musical, actually, I have a friend named artist friend named Cohart Geo, and he had a song out called "On My Mind." And when I heard that, I was like, "Oh, that's how I'm feeling." And then I was like, "Well, I can kind of write something similar to that, but more in a different tone and more in a different way." So the person, I mean, he'll hear it because he'll tap in too with the podcast and stuff. But yeah, Cohart Geo, when you hear this, you the reason why that song came out. But yeah, he's definitely that's the one that kind of gave me that idea. When I listened to his song, I was like, okay, I can do something similar to that. And that's kind of good when you have artist friends that you're around that you can kind of feed off each other, and y'all won't clash, but y'all can feed off each other and make good music.
That's good. That's great. Shout out to him. Listen, like, what you doing? By choose your song that inspired another great song. I gotta hear your song too. Your song is great too. We're not saying that here. So, but your great song has inspired another great song. Be giving me
Yeah.
props. That's what we do over here on this
All
side
right,
of the show.
right,
So,
right, right.
so walk us through this process. So how did it come to life from start to finish? How did you bring it to life? Because like I said, I'm a visual person. So when I hear something, I want to envision what I'm listening to. So take us through the process, the creative process. How did you bring it to life?
So basically the process. Okay, so this process of this song, um, believe it or not, I started the process of this song in the middle of January because I was at this moment. I was talking to this one person for a minute, and like I said, I wanted to kind of express myself, but I couldn't, because I wouldn't say I couldn't, but I didn't want to. So basically, it was just after a day of hanging with her, played the song. I played the beat, and so I was like, okay, this beat can go on to how I'm feeling right now. So that's how I kind of started off. What's kind of crazy was I wasn't gonna really write too much about it. I really didn't care about it until me and her stopped talking. So after that, when we stopped talking, that's what I started the process of actually writing it out and then getting in the studio and recording it. So basically, within the time frame from middle of January to the beginning of the first week of February, that's when that whole process. It was kind of like it felt kind of quick, but it was just more so of that's what I've been feeling. But I think when how it ended ignited a fire under me and be like, you know what, write about this. This is the reason why you should, this is the reason why you remember this. So that's how that creative process with that song went.
That's good. I love that. Like I said, I'm enjoying this conversation just to hear about the song, the creative part,
Mhm.
because a lot of artists are not, some artists are, but a lot of artists are not like taking you behind the scenes and showing the real thing. Because, like I said, back to the old school artists, shout out to them. I have a lot of
Mhm.
respect for them. The OGs that, made it happen for a lot of the newer generation music that we have. Those artists stayed in day in, day out for their songs. They were in the studio, sleeping in there, waiting for like a break somewhere so that way they can push through. And I appreciate all that they do. But it's great to hear when you let them, when they tell you the backstory, when they tell you, it took me a while to get it. And some people think, like, they think it can make a hit overnight. And that's not the process works. It's a process to making a craft and perfecting the craft and then bringing out the product. There is a process to that. And a lot of people are so quick to get to the presentation, but they're skipping all the steps to get to the presentation. So it's great to hear. And when I get the chance to talk to people and hear the backstory and the why, it's a great way to get to know the person and who they are. And you get to understand the love that they have for what they do. And that's one thing I like
Right. Yeah.
about who you are as an artist and the music that you put out, because you're taking us through like the start to finish. So it's not just like I said, we're in this microwave of a generation, so everything is quick, but the you taking the time, perfecting it and writing it and being so real about it. That's one thing I could definitely respect and love
Yeah.
about you as an
Yeah.
artist.
That's what kind of, I think, me personally, that's what kind of separates a one hit wonder and a classic. A one hit wonder, you can just make something that sounds good because that's the words that you put down. But a classic is something that sounds good and also you can relate to emotionally in a different level. Like even without I want to get to a point without even when the beat starts, or I can just listen, I can just play the beat and they already in their head already singing a song without the lyrics. So that's the part of being able to connect with it and being able to connect with it on an emotional level too as well.
Like I said, that is amazing to hear. So, which each track, everybody, we already talked about everybody has like their difficulties when they're coming to writing. Would you say that you faced any difficulties or any tough moments while making the song, or was everything pretty much smooth?
Other than the fact of me not being in the studio in over a year, just being a little rusty, that was the only challenge. But like I said, that situation kind of happened and kind of ignited the fire. So I was really anxious to get in there. But at the same time, I was still rusty. So it wasn't too much of a challenge besides of me, like I said, besides of me not being in there for so long. But other than that, everything went smooth. But once I got into the groove of it and kind of got my little hang of it, then oh yeah, I was just in the zone then.
Okay. Now, listen, track itself, that's what got me was the track. And when your voice came, I said, I'm vibing with this now. What was the vibe like in the studio? When the people were they bouncing to it? Were you like, okay, we got to retake it because you guys just got carried away? Like,
So this one, it was just me, my producer, and my sister in there. And my sister is and also shout out to her because she's the one that kind of encouraged me to write it too and helped me write it. But the vibe in there was just chill. Like it was more so of a vibe like we was driving late, like you said, a late night drive. That's what it kind of was. Like it was just a chill vibe. The producing, none of us were really talking. We was just as how you were so addicted to that track and the beat, that's how I was. And even listening to it hundreds of times, but going into the studio and hearing it with the speakers is like I was just amazed, and it was basically whatever vibe you wanted to create, but it was very like a nice, chill, mellow little vibe. You know what I'm saying? Not too. It's just like I said, just a regular chill vibe.
that's cool. Like that chill vibe, that's great. I'm trying to tell y'all. Wait for the song to drop. Y'all gonna see why. Listen, my fans, my listeners know that I'm very passionate about things. So I'm trying to tell y'all, listen, wait till y'all hear the whole song. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. That beat, that's it. This gonna go hard. Like this beat is fire. I'm trying to tell y'all. Make sure y'all go follow so y'all can get all the deets if see what the song come out. So when you finally release it, what is something that you want listeners to take away from it?
The message that I want to so basically let me get a little personal. The message that I want for this one is basically to let them know that I'm not gonna leave them again. I'm not gonna give them another year drought. Also to let them know that my artistry, kind of honestly, I'm still thinking about it because I'm still as being an artist and still doing it. And honestly, I haven't been perfecting my craft as I should. So I'm basically just trying out different things, different sounds and stuff like this. To me, this song here sounds different from what I usually write. The flow of it sounds different. I mean, some of the melody sounds the same, but it's kind of have like a different type of swag to it. But basically, from them, I want them to just let them know, like, hey, I'm getting into a different type of artistry now. So that's the main thing I can, if I can really brainstorm, if I can really just say what I want to say. Yeah, I just basically say I would want them to see that it's a different type of artistry that I'm getting into.
That's amazing to hear. And the last thing we want to ask you is if you couldn't put after hours into 3 words to best describe it, if you could do 3 words.
3 words. Okay. It's probably gonna sound corny, but don't be afraid. That would be because basically, like, don't be afraid. Reason why I say that is because the message in the song is that don't be afraid to let love do what love do. So that would be the actual message. That would be the 3 words. The 3 words I can really describe it.
That's great. Don't those are great 3 words. Don't be afraid. God has not given us the spirit of fear, but power, of love, and of a sound mind. We
Yep.
shouldn't be fearful. So I just have enjoyed this conversation so much. And one thing I love about, I'm not trying to get too personal but take away from your spotlight, but one reason why, I've shared this with my some of my listeners, but when a lot of people ask me what is the most exciting thing about my career, what's the most exciting thing about me, as a podcast, now as an author, how is that going? And I'm just like, what's my drive for it. And I'm just like, it's honestly just meeting new people and building connections and also learning people's story, hearing people's testimony. And it's just for me, it's a beautiful thing to hear what somebody has to go through to do what they do. And that's one thing I love about doing what I do is being able to talk to people and reach people because you just never know. And sometimes for me, music is like my therapy. So there's a lot of people that are, music lovers that love music, and music sometimes what gets them through those rough moments. It's not just like a phone call, for me, of course, it's praying, reaching out to God. But there are other people, there's different ways that, they have that to get that get through moment. And
Exactly.
sometimes when you listen to a song could just take you through so much. It could just take you on a journey. It's just so much music does for you. So for me, besides what I normally do, my other go-to is music. Music is what I listen to get through because it's like when you hear what the person is saying, the words and how you can connect to them, and it's like it's encouraging you. So one thing I love about doing what I do is just hearing that and being able to learn the person for who they are and what they're doing, how they're bringing it to life. That's a big one of the main reasons why I love doing what I do. Why I love being on a podcast. Why I love being on the radio. Why I love being an author. It's just getting the chance to meet people and understand who that person is and what they had to overcome to get to where they are. And then how can y'all help each other to continue to be the light? Like, you lighten the candle and you pass it to somebody, they light the candles. Like, so we're lights and we're in a dark world. So how can you and this person's fire come together to make a bigger light, to get somebody else to do the same thing, light their candle to light somebody else's. So I just love doing that, love hearing that, love being a part of that. But I have enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time out to just talk to us and bring it out and just bring it all the way home for us. You are,
Oh,
like I said, an
no,
exclusive interview. Thank you. We know you are extremely busy, and we just thank you took time out your busy schedule to come
no,
onto the show and just
problem.
tell us who you are.
They don't know that, but me and you go way back. They don't.
We do.
It's family stuff. You know what I'm saying? We go way back. So I don't care how busy I am. I'm still, you know what I'm saying? You didn't help me and you was the person that always give me right advice and stuff like that. And I want your listeners to know that y'all have a great author by y'all who's very passionate about what she's saying, and she's not going to take anything. She's not going to be afraid to speak up to what she's saying and everything. So just letting y'all know ahead of time, that's what y'all getting. And this is a real genuine person outside of the artist and outside of me doing music, but knowing her as a person and growing up around her and growing up with her. She's a very passionate person, and also, yeah, you're not gonna regret it. You're not gonna regret it. But like I said, I'm always gonna have time. We family. So
Thank you for your kind words. Yeah, I'm not gonna get emotional. Y'all know I do cry on this show. We're not gonna cry today, but they know we get to tear it up. We get real over here. But thank you so much. Also, where can my listeners tune in? Find out the dates of when this good song this song gonna drop. Because y'all gotta listen to the song. I'm trying to tell y'all gonna see why I'm gassing this song up so much. But where can they follow you and support you and tune into more things coming up for you?
So, on Instagram, they can find me on Instagram and TikTok. The same as that boy Brax. That's gonna be, that's my Instagram name. But everything, all my music out. Also, before this song, I dropped the EP, so I have an EP already out. You can find my music on every platform. It's B.Alphonse. You got to make sure you put the dot because you know how very particular they are. But B.Alphonse on all streaming platforms, whether it's Spinrilla or whatever you can think of, is all on there.
All right, guys, you heard it best from himself. Alphonse, follow him on all platforms. Listen to his music, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all, he got a song on his EP called "It's Simple." Y'all, when I tell y'all this song, y'all go listen. Matter of fact, y'all listen to the whole EP. I'm not gonna tell y'all nothing else. I've been giving y'all gems this whole episode. Y'all go tune in and find out for yourselves, and y'all gonna see why. But thank you guys for tuning into this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation of learning who B.Alphonse is as an artist. Make sure you guys go support. Make sure you guys tune in, like, share, subscribe. Also, you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in, being present through this whole season, guys. I know this has been a long time coming. I know we haven't been in production, but guys, that's all changing this year. Thank you guys for just being here with us and just riding the loyal followers, the new people that's coming in, guys. We here at Just Keep It Real, we are so grateful, so honored to have a fan base to listen and tune in, and you guys share your comments. We are so grateful for you guys, and I love all of my real one crew, guys. I have given y'all a new name. Y'all are no longer as the Just Keep It Real fam. You guys are the real one crew. and we guys keep it real in the Real One crew. I thank you guys so much. Love and support. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and TikTok at the Real Michaela with 2 A's at the end. Michaela is spelled Michaeliaa. No caps, no underscores, just at the Real Michaela. And also, you guys make sure you go buy my book, Pain Raised Me, but Trauma Healed Me. It is on all platforms, Barnes and Nobles, Amazon, you name it. You guys go support and make sure you like, subscribe this episode, give your video a thumbs up. And guys, remember, be you. Don't let nobody else change you. Somebody want to change you, then they're not for you. Stay safe, stay real, and always be yourself. We'll see you guys on the next episode.